Good evening from Yummy B TV YouTube. It is too hot out there. I finally came in. I may go and watch the football after, but I may not. I might go somewhere else. I might still go live tonight as well, but sending loads of love to you, YouTube. Now, this one's been asked of me for quite a long time, a couple of years to be precise, and it involves Jason Vella, Tony Bucky Powell, and Paul Ferris. A geezer called Gomez, right? And another geezer, but I don't want to name him, right? And it took place in Full Sutton. So we are aware that there was a couple of incidents of some kind with Paul Ferris and Jason Vella. I was of the opinion that one of the first fights, or was one, the threatening thing in Belmarsh, and I think the Franklin one, I thought that's where they had the fight. Because they were definitely in Full Sutton together as well. And this is around about, got to be 1995, it's got to be around about that time, right? So what basically happened is when Paul Ferris came to Full Sutton, if my memory is standing up to the test of time, right? Tony Bucky Powell was hanging around at that time with one of my other mates, Gary Lawrence, and Aaron Baxter, I think. There was a threesome, a team, deadly team, them three, right? We know Tony Bucky Powell's really, really strong. Another good friend of mine. I think Paul Ferris got introduced. No, my friend Shaka introduced Bucky, Tony Powell, to Paul Ferris. Now, everyone will tell you that Bucky really liked Paul Ferris. So I was of the opinion that the fight happened with Vella in Franklin, and then when they bumped into each other again in Full Sutton, or vice versa, right? That Bucky would have seen him, and Bucky was saying, not saying that Paul Ferris needed anyone and all that, but Bucky was saying, listen, nobody can't touch Paul Ferris, and that he's with me, and it's my boy, and all that kind of stuff, because Bucky's law like that, right? Ask Paul Ferris if you don't believe me, right? But Jason Vella was, I think, still up to fight Paul Ferris. Paul Ferris was walking around with a tool, and it was going to be on, but it didn't reach that stage, at that stage, in that prison at that time, right? Jason Vella has a little go, has a little smoke behind the scenes, but he's more undercover, right? We're not going to be disrespectful here. And he does his little thing, and he does his hustle. There's a lot of people scared of Jason Vella. Yeah, Jason Vella is quite handy in all ways, right? And last resort, he will definitely be able to look after himself in that way, right? There's no ifs or buts about that, right? Now, he was doing little bits and bobs with Bucky, Tony Powell. Jason Vella wasn't paying his bills a bit, right? But what happened is, how the argument broke out was that Jason Vella was meant to have cracked a silly joke, but it come across racialist. But I don't think that Jason Vella is racialist, right? Nah, I don't think so. I ain't seen enough of him, but from all the consensus from a lot of the people from his way that I know, they definitely say that that ain't the case. But I believe on this day that he ran out of tune joke with another man that I know. Bucky Tony Powell has jumped on it straight away. I often believe that he did this for Paul Ferris, but I can't say that, because I have to listen to what they tell me the reasons were, right? Now, Bucky has confronted Jason Vella in the gym with all of them standing there. This is what I tell you about different levels and who's better man for who in that life that we speak about so freely on Yummy B TV. There's a lot of men that you lot talk about that wouldn't be able to, wouldn't even want to fight with certain men. I know you not know that's how it goes. Well, Bucky's put it on Jason Vella. Jason Vella wasn't even arguing, right? He was just saying, Tone. But Bucky started to slap him up. I've got to be honest about this. He started boxing him up and all that, and saying, listen, and shaking him around and all that. Bucky's really, really strong, you know. But so is Jason Vella. But for some reason, Jason Vella didn't want to fight Bucky, but he wanted to fight everybody else. And it's the way the game goes sometimes. And with the Paul Ferris turnout, you remember, I wasn't there. So, but I got two different versions. And I think we've been through those before. But the clarification is when certain men are going to appear on my show, some of this hearsay and what really took place will be coming out their own mouth, which it has done on previous interviews. But the truth is that Tony Bucky Powell really loved Paul Ferris and used to go with him every day. Was really, really close. So got my opinion, but it doesn't mean I'm right. But I'm just saying that for some of you, sometimes it'd be worth remembering. I remember I had to take a little slap up way back in the day, right? But maybe it's because I didn't want to fight though. Plus I was in the wrong, and plus I had a hearing to go up for as well. But no excuses, I didn't fight back that day. So it's happened probably once or twice in my whole life. Probably when I was younger, when I couldn't defend myself, but not too often again. But like I said to you, Tony Bucky Powell, a bit too much for them man there, a little bit more. So there you have it, Henry Clark.